Good evening, members of the opposition, audience, moderator, and officials. I stand before you to cause trouble. My colleague and I will escort you on an analytical journey and show that the CARICOM region's failure to legalize marijuana is a colossal mistake. The CARICOM region has failed thus far to legalize marijuana. Despite the huge tax revenue that can be generated, despite the costly, ineffectual war we wage against it that we can ill afford, despite our topographical and environmental advantage in the cultivation of the plant, despite the possibility for creating marijuana-based industries, despite the potential to enhance our vital tourism sectors, this is a mistake, an error, a miscalculation. The CARICOM region must release some entrenched beliefs, realize that the world is changing, and adapt. Want to realize that the CARICOM region's failure to legalize marijuana is a colossal mistake? We can move forward.
If marijuana should be legalized, the government must be mindful of the dangers of the drug and the potential effects it may have on our children, our future generation. The director of the Caribbean Public Health Agency urged leaders in the region to proceed with caution as the debate for decriminalizing marijuana intensifies. My teammate and I stand here emphatically this evening to oppose the moot. The CARICOM region's failure to legalize marijuana is a colossal mistake. Laughter, fun, happiness, giddiness, relaxation. Those are feelings we commonly associate with marijuana, thanks to the media. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, what they seem to forget is that marijuana is not all rainbows and butterflies. With it also comes anxiety, paranoia, terror, mood swings, and an inescapable fear of all things. Under the influence, you are a different person. Despite how much people try to depict it as a good thing, we mustn't forget that cannabis is a drug, and there is a reason why it wasn't meant for recreational use. The greater the effect on the brain. With all this evidence, Madam Moderator, should we legalize marijuana? The answer is a big no. It is clear, my well-informed audience, that it may cost the government more to rehabilitate our young people than they are getting from legalizing the use of marijuana. John Hawkins cites in his article 5 reasons marijuana should remain illegal, that, and I quote, health and welfare costs went up due to the growing number of marijuana addicts. Ladies and gentlemen, the decision to legalize marijuana is not an overnight idea. The facts are here. Need I say more? It is sufficiently obvious that marijuana is a threat to our society, morally and physically. I urge you to consider the deteriorating effect that marijuana has on individuals and their surroundings. I feel strongly that we cannot countenance legalizing a drug whose very use, not abuse, but simple use, can harm its users and has been demonstrated. So it is on this premise that I reiterate the writ moot. The CARICOM's failure to legalize marijuana is not a colossal mistake. I thank you.
The list could go on and on. But instead, the CARICOM region clings to its colossal blunder and fails to legalize marijuana. Professor Barry Chavanes chaired a report of the National Commission on Ganja in Jamaica. The commission noted that many Jamaicans feel that it was grossly unfair that alcohol and tobacco, already proven to be more harmful substances, were legal, but ganja remained illegal. Long gone are the days of marijuana being associated with unproductive youths lounging in alleys. Marijuana is your sick grandmother, finding relief for her crippling pains. It is a naturally grown substance that sparks new industries. Marijuana is the raised GDP in your country that funds schools and hospitals and builds parks. The CARICOM region's failure to legalize marijuana is a colossal mistake that continues to negatively affect our economies and our societies and our position in the global community. Thank you.
What a thing! We cannot ignore the existing political culture of corruption in the Caribbean. Can you imagine how self-serving government officials would exploit this? A free-for-all trying to capitalize, while governments wheel and deal for self? Can you imagine? Crime and violence bound to increase, no support services to deal with negative impact. What a culture shock, what chaos. Say no to legalizing marijuana. The Netherlands has tolerated individual drug use and has subsequently seen marijuana use among students increase by 250%. Additionally, contrary to the claims that legalizing it will reduce crime, John Hawkins points out in his article, 5 reasons marijuana should remain illegal, that crime is on the increase in Amsterdam, centering around coffee houses where marijuana is sold. He claims, and I quote, "In the past decade, in the Netherlands, large-scale crime around coffee shops and the illegal sex trade have become more visible," end of quote. Does this make sense? Madam Moderator, our case is clear. Let us not make the mistake and legalize marijuana. It may end up costing us more to correct the damages. The bottom line, we simply can't afford to legalize marijuana. It's a pipe dream. Is the momentary high so important that we should consider taking on such a risk? Definitely not. Is the region seriously equipped to welcome the move to legalize marijuana, Madam Moderator? The answer is no, a big no. The CARICOM region is not ready. So it comes without saying that the decision of CARICOM region not to legalize marijuana cannot be seen as a colossal mistake. In fact, my partner and I stand firm in our stance to oppose the moot that the CARICOM region's failure to legalize marijuana is a colossal mistake. I thank you.